right, we're all here.
Hello.
Hi.
I don't know why I can't hear you. That's weird. Oh, that's on my earphones.
Oh,
Okay, there we go.
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Now let's start with a mindful noticing,
Okay.
shall we? Yeah. I'd like to just invite you to notice being here. What information, what channels of our sensory channels is giving you information that you are here and now. I'm noticing my shoulder, seat, back support. Noticing a little tightness in my forehead. I could use some more sleep, maybe. Yeah, what tells you that you are here? Then I'd like to notice you to notice, is there any way, unconscious ways you being here, showing up, joining a meeting? Any unconscious patterns? Just, oh, feels familiar. If you do notice a pattern or two, you may or may not notice. That's all okay. If you do, I'd like to invite you to wonder or be curious if this pattern, unconscious way that's showing up, if it's needed, helpful right now in this setting, in this group. Maybe it is. Maybe, oh, it's not really. Oops. Whatever you notice, if it's even if it's not helpful, could we appreciate it must have been helpful some point? With that, now I would like you to notice being here again. Reorient into this physical space as well as this virtual space we share. What do you notice? I'd love to hear if you're open to sharing your experience.
We lost somebody.
Yeah. Yes, we
Okay.
did.
She disappeared.
Yeah, I think she's maybe trying to get back on.
Um,
What do you notice?
I'm feeling okay, more focused, relaxed, not as scatterbrained as I often am. So that's a good feeling.
Sounds like a good, positive new experience.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Um, well, as we're waiting for Alyssa. Oh, yeah, she is here. Just wanted to check my phone.
Hi.
Welcome back.
My computer froze and I had to restart it and it was just not working. Sorry.
No apologies needed. What have you noticed throughout this process?
Annoyance with technology. Yes.
Yeah, this kind of interruptions or disruptions can also be opportunities for us to notice what shows
Yeah.
up for us.
Yeah. True.
Any reflections?
Um, that's definitely important to be able to manage that because that can happen in sessions too.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
What was it like for you this time?
Me, I was just really confused and not understanding what was going on with my computer. Why I was like hearing you and then not hearing you. Yeah.
And how is it coming back and staying here?
I'm fidgety because I'm just like, okay, settling and now I'm here.
Yeah. Um, I can also share. I just had the PTI team meeting this morning. This dad always invites us to do a mindfulness noticing. I've been noticing my posture a lot more since a chiropractor showed me X-ray that my neck is literally straight. I don't have a curve.
Hmm.
And realizing, oh wow, our usual patterns literally change our bone structure. How we first change build tension in the body and muscular system, then over time literally changes the bone structure. So
Yeah.
I was noticing as I we started the mindfulness this morning, literally slowing down, like an image of my brain literally yanking my neck on and my body almost like in the cartoon, several shadows of my body always following with my neck.
Yeah.
As I slow down, those layers of my body can catch up, and I'm more actually here in one place.
Hmm. Hmm. That makes
So
sense.
today, even though I wanted to review more of the video, I did stop 5 minutes before our meeting, wanting to, okay, stretch and slow down and check in and catch up, let my layers of my body to catch up. So as I was doing that mindfulness here with you, I didn't feel like that lagging behind and catching up as I did in the morning. So yeah, that's a new experience. Thoughts, questions, notices, comments?
Mhm.
Good. I would like to also share a little conversation from this morning's meeting. Other consultants also talking about consultation group and really, really taking it in that even though it's a 10 months, we do not have a fixed schedule or expectation which group or which consultee will get to what step or level or phase or at what time. There's no way to put a one size fits all. And what really is important is just being with whatever is showing up each month, each meeting. If it's one layer of our answer that takes 3 months to be more aware and bring more curiosity and compassion, appreciation, and the answer gets to soften and leave more room for new experience, that's big progress from this model we practice, right? It's easy to just, okay, pull out the worksheet and make sure you know all the steps, what to say and what to check, and some of those technical steps, you make a mistake, big oops. And if you are able to really be present with the client and yourself and deeply understanding the deeper concept, the answer, our key principles, that's what really carry you further long after this process. Yeah. So I really can't stop appreciating the past a month or two, Becky, you being more vulnerable and recognizing what was it's hard. That's the difficult thing, to feel I'm not an expert or I don't know quite enough and I have to do it, just do it and allow that experience. That's the experiential learning to now build that, start to build the experience. But yeah, just really proud of you.
It gets a little easier each time and much more comfortable each time. I think something that's intimidating for me is the lady that I'm doing this with is she does EMDR and she's so knowledgeable. And so I feel like if I'm with a teenager in here, they don't know if they make a mistake. So I feel just kind of intimidated and nervous. But she's so cool. And I do goof and I'll be like, whoa, okay, hold on. And I feel bad because I'm like, okay, put on this hat for a second, but help me. And she will. And she's been a wonderful help. But yeah, she's she does EMDR. So she's very good at it. And anyway, so it's kind of intimidating because she knows how it's supposed to go.
Again, I would like to invite you to notice that unconscious pattern. Just assume because she knows, she maybe know better or know more than you, then it's like literally prohibiting you from just
Mhm.
performing at your current level, whatever you know.
Mhm.
Does that feel familiar?
Um, no, I mean, the part of, I mean, not to sound like cocky, but usually I'm the one in the room that knows what I'm
Ah,
talking about. And
okay.
to be not be that person is
Uh,
humbling.
uh,
Yeah. So
yeah. You have such great, helpful answers to push you to do so much and learn so much, research so much, even before you put yourself
mhm,
in the room or in the position. So that the experience is
mhm,
you. Yeah. And sounds like the nerve wracking experience, like anticipation of it's hard and you are okay.
yeah.
This is the good new experience we want to savor.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Um, we can just go straight into our video review, then take a break, and then switch. How about that?
I'm going to switch chairs really quickly. This one is too uncomfortable.
Okay. Then, Alyssa, how about you pull up your video and
Okay.
go first?
Okie dokie.
That chair looks so much more comfy.
Oh, much more comfortable.
Yeah, it looks
Probably not the
comfy.
cleanest. This is one all the teenagers sit in and put their feet on, but that's okay.
Of course, they're not in the room. You get
I
to
don't
pick.
care. I
So,
can breathe it.
oh, share. Oh, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Is there a spot you'd like me to go to?
How about we just start with the very beginning? Let's give it, I don't know, 2 minutes, or yeah, just start from the beginning. I can't hear the sound.
What was that?
I can't hear the sound. Oh, you
Oh,
started. I don't know if you started.
let's see. Do I have to make sure I'm sharing sound? Yep. I'm sorry. Okay.
Sorry about that. I've just been having like this has been like a really tough. I just want the school year to be over, honestly. Like this has been like a shitty year for me. I don't know why. I feel like I haven't been able to get into a groove. I feel like everyone has been like
Can you
I don't
make
know,
it
it's been
full
hard to
screen?
like relate to anybody here. Like there's a handful of people, sure, but like I really just don't like the hallway that I'm in. I want to move rooms bad. Like the energy down there is terrible. And I've told Crunk this too. Like Bloom, Nora, and Aaron are like the crabbiest people. Nora can be okay, but she just gets sucked in. But like Bloom can be so annoyingly like pessimistic and like talks down to everybody. Aaron is like, I swear, always mad. Nora is just kind of like whatever mood those two are in. And I'm just sick of it. And I like dread coming here because I just like have to walk past their rooms every morning and just like grumpus energy. Like I want to be down by Cindy and across from like the plants. I want to be like I just feel lonely and isolated here. Like big time.
Can you
Like I feel like sometimes I feel like I could quit and like no one would notice. And I know that's really like that's an emotional statement, but I've just been feeling like I've been having a really hard time, like feeling like excited to come into work. Like I've even been second guessing if I even want to teach, like if I even want to stay in this profession, because it just seems like it's just I don't know. I make $49,000 a year, and I'm so stressed out all the time. I just don't know if it's worth it. Like the pay for the amount of work I do that I feel like I do, and like the heartbreak that comes with this job, like it just feels like a joke sometimes, like how little I make to like literally like raise people's children sometimes.
You can pause here. Yeah. Maybe stop sharing so we can see each other
Okay.
better.
Well, I'll stop sharing. Okay.
I'm curious, what was going on in your mind in that moment or during that session?
I felt so much for her. Um, and I wanted, it's hard. It's like you really want to offer something, or it's like I want to explore the answer more with her. I saw her answer showing up, but there's so much talk and it's going and going and going that there's just no room to interject. And so that also that's part of the answer, but then also, and I think it was like 20 minutes of that, maybe.
No. I know it
And
went on.
so it's really hard. Because, but my heart, goes out to her and I feel it, but I also really feel her answer. And that big part of her answer is being hyperverbal. And then so it's like I eventually like was able to weave in like, okay, so specifically this last memory we worked on, how's that showing up? And
How present she was during the first 20 minutes. If you just throw out a number, 0 to 100%, that's what I use with my client. How present are you? 100%, 80%, 70, 60?
You're asking me how present?
What do you think?
That's tough because I felt like she was really feeling her emotions. She was crying. But then it's also like the talking is a form of disconnection. So it's really hard to say, like, it's almost like a 50-50 to me. What do you think?
I think you were probably, yeah, pretty accurate. She feels some of the emotions, but not going deep. Then
Right.
the talking, the analyzing, the problem solving or fixing, it keeps her hopping between one and everything, right? And on the shallow level. And that talking keeps her in this storyland. Like you
Yeah.
join her in that storyland, and she's not fully present to feel.
Right. But then it's like, there's this thought that talking through this brings healing, right? And you know what I mean?
And my own experience, the stuff I had two therapists I talked through. I thought I really talked through. Then when I was in basic training and brought up, what happened? More stuff coming up. And we know that's exactly what that answer is doing.
Right. So it's almost like I need to be, like what Deb has said in the many layers, like explicit, like, I'm noticing this talking is showing up, as a form of distraction to sort of keep you out of that deep sadness you're feeling. And then by the time we get to reprocessing, she has a hard time, even more so. It's like we can't spend as much time into reprocessing because she's so distracted or distractible. Her brain is pulling her, and it takes longer to get into it fully for her. and we could be spending more time getting more present, but she wants to spend a lot of time in her answer, and I'm letting her because I feel like it's what we're supposed to do is listen.
Mhm.
um, and you know, you don't cut people off, and oh, it's so hard.
Where did you learn that?
I mean, my gosh, I feel like that's like 6 years of social work school is active listening.
Well, yet you also, I bet, another part of you knows we always work with here and now, what's present.
Mm-hmm.
If she's only 50% present, she is not able to really tune into what
Yeah.
actually need the deep stuff needs her attention.
Mm-hmm.
So basically that's her way of being is constantly just not fully present, right? Trapped. Half of her is always trapped in the past.
Oh, for sure. Especially like
Where,
knowing
yeah,
her.
unconsciously, consciously, explicit memories, implicit, fragmented memories showing up as emotions, as thought patterns, beliefs, body sensations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I did get to I only have 1 hour left of the many or no, sorry, 25 minutes left of the many layers of training. Or
Thank
God,
you for bringing
many
that up.
layers
I
of
forgot to check.
whatever it is, many layers of EMDR, whatever it's called. Um, and so it was like the last section was really helpful for me in giving me like confidence. I've like this week specifically done it like 4 times where I was just like so intentional with clients about, okay, like what is here right now, and feeling okay with not letting them um do exactly what she did. Like I really brought them into the present because man, people are good at just like going with, the story. You used a good word, the storyland, and talking and talking and talking, um and then you think you're working with something and you're really not. You're just working with their answer. And it's like, it's not that I never realized that with some people, and it's like I think I didn't realize it with as many people. um it's like some of them are more obvious than others, like the ADHDers, like they're really obvious, like they're very like, and you're constantly being intentional about bringing them back. But then the like real talkers, they're a little less obvious, I feel like, because it's like what they're saying has meaning and there's feeling to it, but it's also not getting to the root of it all.
What are you noticing right now in you? Oops, Becky, we
I
can't
think
hear
Becky
you.
is
If
talking.
you were trying to talk, seems like you were talking to us.
I was talking to myself. Sorry about that. Was that right when she came in and sat down? She just
Yeah.
started. Okay. Because see, I think it's more difficult when you're there with the person, but like sitting here watching, I feel like she needs to be like a mindfulness exercise, like to get her to slow down and to breathe. And because when I was listening to her talk, I was getting anxious because
Mhm.
she's very emotional and these things are
Mhm.
making her upset. And you can't blame her, but I felt like she needed to be like just slow down and just do some breathing. So that was just that's what
Yeah.
was hitting me as I was watching.
And I totally see that. And then there's also this huge part of me that's like, she needs to be heard. She needs to be heard. Let her listen to her. And I don't know why I can't untrain myself from that with a lot of people.
What are you noticing in you right now?
just like confliction, I guess, like, yes, I fully am on board, you know what I mean, with both things you guys are saying. I know that's real, but I also feel like people aren't heard. And so we need to give them that too. And
That
so if,
part of you, would it be okay we explore,
go ahead, yeah.
investigate a little bit?
Well, I don't think this has to do with me.
Ah,
I think
let's
this is
think more
a
about it.
genuinely a thing that don't you think that we should consider?
Okay, where did you learn that?
I mean, don't you guys feel like this is something you've had to unlearn? Am I wrong?
Well, being really present with another person, their full experience, like a deep, deep, full experience, being fully present, I mean, and really sink down with them, keeping
So were
them
you thinking
grounded
I'm
in the
not
present.
present with them? Because like I felt like I was pretty present with her, but was just listening, like because I felt like I was feeling what she was feeling.
And you were also, you also, heard you say, as time went on, you were feeling more anxious or wondering what you needed to do. Should I keep letting her go or should I do something? How can I connect her back to the memory? And how
Yeah,
present were you?
yeah, that's true.
Do
Yeah.
you think if you weren't, if it wasn't for this recording, do you think you would have responded differently? Because it's hard. If you're with
Great
a
question.
coworker, I would be like, oh, I know. I don't blame you for hating being in that hall. Those people are, or whatever. I don't know if I'd say that, but because you're there too, right? And
Yeah,
I
which is
wouldn't,
more reason why I wouldn't, but
oh, okay. Not to say but just to, because maybe you get what she's talking about, or maybe you don't, or you don't see it that way.
yeah, I see all the sides, which is like my blessing and my curse, but
Exactly. So
And
you just listen.
can I ask you, Becky, if you were to get on board and start validating and get talking, is it bringing the client more to the present, or are you just wandering further in the storyland?
I guess it depends what's being asked or what is talked about. Maybe just validating,
Right. A
just,
validation could be just one statement. Yeah, I feel you.
hmm
yeah,
Or it can really open up more.
right.
yeah, and with
Yeah,
her, it's
you
like,
are right here. You know these people, and like the other day, and this happened, and right. So
Mhm.
yeah,
yeah, and I will be honest, like, sure, I have my personal opinions. And so, like, in my head, yeah, I'm like, oh, I'm not shocked you're feeling this. And, like, you know, or, oh, I'm glad you addressed this in this way. You know what I mean? In my head. But also, and then also in my head, I'm like, very conscious about how I validate because what will bring her further into Storyland or what is going well, actually, it's very much between what is going to bring her further into Storyland or where do I even have a room in Edgewise with her.
Mhm.
That's the biggest thing with her
can
I've
without
done this
being
to kids
so
can
before.
open.
I can I call
I've
you
done it.
out? You are catching yourself as you are doing all this formulating. You are not fully present,
Yeah.
right? We have noises all the time, and I wonder what is it's like to just I hear you. I hear you, I can feel you. And would it be okay to pause for a moment?
Mm-hmm.
What do you notice in your body? You actually got there later. What are
Mm-hmm.
you
20
noticing
minutes
in
later.
your and you did get there. What are you noticing as you bring up this dread or this whatever? Is it showing up in your body or does this feel familiar? Here is our opening. Really feel into it. Does this feel familiar in any way? Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Any other time you felt this way? Or can you take a moment to sense into this familiar feeling? How old or how young you started feeling this way?
Mm-hmm.
This is really inviting the client to be fully present with their experience and seeing everything showing up in the moment through the AIP lens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you know there's deeper roots, deeper drivers in this. All of this going on without addressing the root, this never ends. This is one probably issue, another. And the psychoeducation for AIP model or past being present or the answer showing up, nothing is as good as just this moment. As you're feeling this, I'm noticing you're talking a lot. I wonder if keep talking and keep finding solution, keep analyzing. I wonder if that's helpful to not feel deeply into this yak.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you had already done the answer and touched on, but now,
Yeah.
but you just like in your basic training, weekend one, you just everything, so much information all washed over you, and week two, or even after the whole basic training, oh, you're realizing or like appreciating stuff. The same with the client that's they may not, they usually can't fully appreciate what we are sharing with them, the model, the answer concept, all that. But the best way of teaching or really is catch that in the moment again and again and again, and until they start seeing, oh, come in, let me tell you, I was so stressed about something or triggered, and it dawned on me this is connected to that memory.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Some people may need this be repeated 20 times until they can really starting to connect. What do you notice now?
Yeah, like definite like it all makes sense. I don't know. Like it I agree completely and um like I'm ready to tackle that the next time
Mm,
with her. I will say she is probably, more and maybe it's because she's an adult and I work with teens normally, but she is more difficult to rein in that regard than others that I work with. Probably one of the most difficult to rein in as far as the talking goes and bringing into the or feel confident in doing that. You know what I mean? or feel okay in doing that.
Can I call you out?
Yeah, go for it.
Wording matters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our intention is to ring in an answer.
Appreciate the answer.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe that's what a client needed to keep going, going, going for a while. And
Well, that's why I was letting her. God.
we're not we're we're not necessarily struggling or maybe you are just observing and observing and observing.
Mm-hmm.
This is it okay I share what I'm noticing?
Mm-hmm.
I'm noticing you are talking, one topic feels a little bit this emotion, or you even name this emotion and immediately jumped onto another next thing, then frustration, then another irritation, another. Now I'm noticing, I'm feeling, hey, come on, feel that sadness or whatever is showing up for you. And I'm just amazed how helpful keep on talking and whatever is for you. If you are able to truly approach it from with curiosity and appreciation, genuine appreciation.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
One more thing,
Go for it.
or it's more like a reminder. Our full presence is the best asset we have to ground the client's nervous system.
Okay.
I think I noticed a few sessions as you start the session with her, you're getting the camera set up, you're getting your notebook, you are getting your seat comfortable. Okay. Yeah. What would it be like to get all that ready?
Mm-hmm.
Or just say, okay, sorry, give me a minute, let me get things set up. You can take that time to, check in with
Mm-hmm.
yourself and, okay, now I'm ready. Hi, how are you? Fully
Mm-hmm.
present, looking in her eyes. Glad to see you again. Welcome back. Here we are. It's been a week or a month. Welcome back. So our voices, our presence, that's the hook to keep them present with us. Right
Mm-hmm.
here in this second, I'm smiling at you. I'm greeting you.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? How are you right in this moment? Yeah. What do you notice right in this moment?
Are you asking me?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was like,
Both.
well, I'm thinking of how our sessions usually start, and like why that plays out that way, but you're completely right.
All right.
It's usually like literally, at the end of the school day, like flying in and, as the students leave, she comes in and,
Yeah.
so maybe we need to like give a little buffer there.
Or just intentionally, hey, let me take a minute to get this set up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm remembering, so when I meet with a client in person, I literally had a little thought process or struggle. Do I get my buzzers and stuff set up before they come in? Or do I actually take 2 minutes to do that if we do decide to go into a reprocessing? Some clients, if I get that set up, that can be perceived as a pressure.
Yeah, I've thought about that too.
Yeah. And would it be okay to actually just pause and, okay, give me a minute, set up? In the grand scheme of things, really, yeah, it's worth the 2 minutes. To fully be present with them, get them on board, this is what they do choose to do, and we take it a minute, get it set up. And they also get to take a moment to check in with themselves about the target or,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, being present.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I started joining PTI and started being more appreciative of the present moment, right? Exactly what's happening in the moment. Then I catch myself all the time brushing my teeth and trying to rush my daughter, are you up? And yelling across the room or in different room. Can I just finish brushing my teeth? Then walk over and then talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
Can I
Yeah.
put whatever spatula or whatever down and turn off or turn down the stove and turn around and actually talk to her? All these times, it's a habit.
Yeah.
When I'm not fully present, rushing her, guess what? She's not really responding to me, and
Mm-hmm.
all right, that's all I have to say.
That's helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, you're doing great. You are
Thank you.
exactly where you are supposed to be. Now appreciating the model and on a deeper level. Anywhere in that practice you wanted to get feedback on?
Let me look at my I think that was the main thing that I put in my reflection form was just about how it was difficult to get her present and and then um she had mentioned like she's essentially wanting to focus on the memory of the death of her parents. I feel like did you notice that
I didn't get to finish, but I saw your reflection. Yeah.
yeah, it's like she kind of keeps um I'm sorry, I'm losing words. She kind of keeps interjecting, in the beginning of our sessions, like that she thinks that's
Mhm.
what she needs to reprocess, or that's like the main root of her problems is the death of her parents. But the memory that we're working on is a younger memory, and it's related to her dad, and it's the DUI and them getting in a car accident. And it has disturbance, and we haven't finished reprocessing it. But I just want to make sure I'm not like interfering with the client collaboration by, kind of sticking with that memory, reprocessing that one first before we go into, the death of her mom.
What are you noticing as you bring up this question?
Just confusion.
And if you recall in our basic training, we probably repeated many times. Confusion is a sign of learning. And literally two streams of information maybe colliding. Yeah. And to be honest, there is no one right answer,
Yeah. Okay.
right? The analogy I used last time, no one has a map or image of the how memory networks are connected or covered up or protected, interlocked. What would it be like to just be transparent with what you're noticing? I'm noticing, like, literally I have two sides. One part of me thinking we should go this way or that could be helpful. Another part noticing, yeah, maybe the later memory is more disturbing or commanding or demanding your attention. And we do have protocols for that, right? Or we could even, that I'm thinking about the recent event or restricted protocol. Or you could even use the full protocol with that memory and just give a caveat that that may not process to full completion because some point the earlier memory might be connected and we still need to come back to address the view source. And either way, no absolute one way. Do you have any preference?
Yeah. And I feel like I was at some point, I don't know if it was this session or the one before that, that I didn't record or submit just because I've had like multiple sessions with her, where I said pretty much like, I'm a little torn, based on what you're telling me, but I also don't feel comfortable leaving a memory open or incomplete, like like and then going into another one. What do you think about that?
What do you notice when you call or use this word incomplete? Words can connect to our past experiences, right?
Well, I just picture like it's like this wound open. Like I just opened up this person's wound and I'm not finishing it with them. Like, so it seems unethical or something. I don't know.
Without you processing that to this extent in the past, was it closed ever?
Right.
Yeah.
But did it make it worse by opening it and starting to process it?
It depends on an individual, depends on the memory, right?
Mm-hmm.
For her, this memory was always there.
Mm-hmm.
So you processed maybe I don't know, give a number, 60%, 70%. Maybe there's still whatever left and it's much less than what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it could be that's how one person's memory network works
Mm-hmm.
without addressing a later experience.
Okay.
They can't fully get into or appreciate how much that earlier experience really is still affecting them.
I get you. Okay.
Yeah. We all have all our past experiences that, oh, so incomplete is bad. The complete is what we aim for. And remember, incomplete memory by the end of our session can totally complete on their own.
Yeah.
We could say, change the wording. This is type 1 ending of an EMDR processing session, type 2 ending of EMDR processing session.
That would make me feel better.
Recognize our unconscious patterns we are bringing in.
Yeah.
Great question. What are you noticing right now?
Mm, that was helpful, and now I need to go to the bathroom.
Perfect time for a break. Let's go.
Okay.
Oops, sorry. How about we come back in 10 minutes? Good? pause the recording.
Oh no. That's okay. At least it was better than forgetting to record at all, right?
Yeah. So you have this big blank part if you want to review it. Skip it. Alrighty. Switch. Becky, your turn. Or you can start talking about maybe if you have any questions or
Um,
curiosity. How was it like this month?
no, I think am I I'm not muted. No, I think, and I put it in my reflection, I tend to stumble more toward the end. Um, so that was, it's still like, I need a flow. I need something like a flow chart that I understand. So I know after two, so I still kind of, I feel like I'm stumbling at the end. Um, that's all. I mean, I think as far as the, like phase 8, I feel like I'm much more comfortable with that now. Um, and yeah, the only thing that it kind of went not off script, but just out of ordinary was as we were doing phase 8, it brought up a different, like a memory that we hadn't, it wasn't in our list on our plan. So, and she decided that, yeah, that's what she wanted to reprocess. So we kind of went a little rogue that way. So just making sure like that's okay to do. And yeah.
You sent me the treatment plan. It's really great, the finding the problem treatment plan. I wonder if it would be helpful for us to review it. I just really understand that flow.
Okay. Did I do that? Is that what
You
you
sent me,
wanted?
yeah, you sent
Okay,
me, yeah, it's on it. Would it be okay for us to review together here?
sure.
Yeah.
I don't have that saved to my computer because I took a screenshot or I
Okay,
took a picture with my phone
I
and
have
then
it open right
done
here.
it that way.
I sent mine, right?
I think so.
Okay,
One
just
of
checking.
the one of the months. I
Yeah, it
think
was,
I remember. Yeah, last month I remember seeing that.
yeah, it was such a long time ago. So, um,
Let me share screen. So I thought we are nearing our end of the 10 months, and really this is the answer, the key principles, and finding the root, and what's the clinical thinking when we see the present, getting to the root, or to wait which target to tackle, working with the client. And so it would be maybe helpful to review that together.
okay.
Okay, share screen. Okay, yeah. Oops. So here is the 3 present issues or problems or anything limiting in life, right? If change it could be. So that's good. What I'm looking at is from here, this question: how is it something you're good at doing? And we're looking, this is something they overdeveloped. It's the answer in a way. Usually the first they come in with their answer in some form.
Mhm.
Then can we appreciate and see it's actually something they are good at doing? For example, avoidance. I'm not sure I can make it out with this record what you wrote down, Now, Becky, can you reflect on this client? What is something there she's good at?
Um, as far as avoidance goes, I think what she's good at um, is separating herself to self-regulate. So she will isolate, withdraw, and that's how she calms herself down. But yeah, is that what you mean? Like that's what she's
Avoiding,
good
can you
at.
give
That's
an
what she does.
example? Yeah, can you give an example, or was there a actual example?
Um, Trying to think of what.
Is it avoiding conflict or confrontation or avoiding
Yes,
a task?
I I think so. No, avoiding confronting somebody, because I'm thinking about one of the examples she gave, but that was more like in a work setting. She had um a client come in. She said that she thought that was a really good session. And then shortly after, she received an email um, that told her the person wanted to terminate and didn't want to return, that they didn't think it was a good fit.
Mm,
Um, so I don't know um, if that goes falls into avoidance, but she didn't follow up to get feedback, and it was
right,
just it still bothers her.
right,
Um, so I don't know if by avoiding it, it helps her not have to deal with it.
right.
Yeah,
So
obviously.
yeah, it's just try to push on, uh, or it's uncomfortable, or it's something maybe, or maybe can dig up some really hurtful information, and
Mhm,
then avoiding that is just to kind of push it to the side and keep going.
mhm.
That's really helpful. Can you see that as helpful?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, protecting herself.
Mhm.
Right. So now that's what we are really seeing, looking for.
Okay, okay.
That's what they are doing on the surface level. They see that as a problem, but we could see that also was some way keeping them safe or connected,
Okay.
keeping
Now,
them
do the
not
other
to,
two make sense then?
yeah,
So,
not like in that example, not to be exposed to potentially really hurtful information or
mhm,
triggering information. And
yes.
just, okay, brush it to the side, keep moving on. And in this case, poor impulse control, just really impulsivity. And this I can see and I can tell, spontaneous, quick thinking, right? That is actually what they do. She does well in
Mhm,
sports, in like whatever artistic or some ways. She's a very spontaneous person in the moment. So that's beautiful. And this part of self-doubt. What do you see as? I'm not quite sure about avoiding things is self-doubt. What do you see it as overdeveloped? They're good at.
Um, I think avoiding like any kind of feedback or criticism, um, or reassurance, like just almost not wanting to know.
Okay. Yeah. Why is self-doubt connected to avoiding? How is it connected?
I think she doesn't want to hear what she thinks about herself. And I think it would just validate that the negative things that she feels about herself. That's what she thinks. So if she avoids it, she doesn't have to hear criticism, because that would just validate her self-doubt that she has so much of. Even just when I think I put it in my reflection, even just trying to find the positive cognition, she has a really hard time with that. Because, and she doesn't seem like a real negative person otherwise, just so much self-doubt.
I wonder, doubting self, always questioning, second thinking herself, if it's something she's good at, being self-critical, she's
So
super aware. I could be perceived this way. I could be perceived that way. So all the self-doubt is just super, super like a self-examining.
Right.
Because that could protect her from being surprised by other people, maybe judging her some way and she's not aware. Does that sound like fit?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So self-doubting. I have all these ways that I could be wrong or could be perceived differently. I can list them all, then I won't be totally surprised if it's coming from others.
Right. Or just not even asking for feedback, because that would just validate everything that she feels. Does that
But what is the self-doubting helping her? Helping her to be prepared for, yeah.
right, I see what you
Avoiding
mean.
to get feedback is also helpful,
Right.
right? That's the same as the first one. And here, I have already questioned and judged and criticized her, and what's the other word I'm not looking for? Hedging. I'm always hedging myself. I'm not just put myself out there, just 100% sure this I'm right. Then, yeah, prepare for possible criticism. Next, what's the relational longing? The wording here, relational longing, is key, because think about a newborn baby. It's a blank slate. It's really one can only see ourselves through the eyes of others, right? Through interaction with others. So we're human, we're social animals. So what is that we are longing for in the context of being with other people? Some people can say, I just long for some peace of mind, peace in my body. But I can find that when I'm separated from everyone. Go on a retreat and I'm alone in the mountain. But the deepest longing, what would that be even? It's one thing to feel peace when we're away from all other human beings. It's another way to feel peace when I'm with other people and still feel peace. So here, this one, just push things aside, potential criticism or difficult information, longing for someone to value my opinion. Yeah, maybe longing to be validated by others. Yeah. Instead of being criticized or being given negative, critical feedback, and can be hurtful information. This one being spontaneous, impulse, lack of impulse control. The longing is, I'm not sure the excitement, thrill seeking. I wonder if the longing underneath could be truly accepted, fully accepted by others, even with the poor impulse control, even the spontaneity, good, bad. What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, like the first thing she said was to get attention.
Oh,
But I think like um she was a college athlete, and I think that that was part of, they're kind of all tied together. Like she was a really serious athlete. So she feels like her quick thinking came from her poor impulse control, and that also gave her attention because she's a good athlete. So they're kind of all tied together. And that's exciting and fun for her.
attention seeking is, I have a sense it's more on the surface. In the moment, I get a
Okay.
little attention. What's a
Uh-huh.
deeper longing? That
Yeah. I
wanting
mean,
but not getting.
yeah, maybe to be looked up to, or to be admired, um, or to be noticed.
Celebrated and
Yeah.
fully accepted.
Mhm.
Alyssa, did you want
Wondering maybe to be supported.
Mhm.
for who needs supported, accepted, and validated for exactly who she is. The
Yeah.
good part of it with the impulse and the bad part of it with the impulse,
Mhm.
whatever she is.
Yeah.
This one, self doubt,
Mhm.
validation, reassurance, I'm okay. Yeah, that sounds, yeah, fits. And I can, yeah, whatever I have in the moment or who I am, I'm okay. So that's that. And then when you move on, that's another sheet, right? Oh, that sheet is not here. But once you get the line, you kind of see these three are connected.
Mhm.
I'm being valued, being accepted, being validated for who I am, good and bad. And then we're looking for when the longing, the deep longing we have. This is the beautiful thing. Even through all the adversities, the deepest human needs, human longing, never completely gives up. Even after being let down so many times, there are times we have a glimmer of hope that, oh, I could get that. Then when that didn't work, our answers had to step in to get us a, yeah, best substitute for what we really long for. So beautiful. Now you see, then from there you get to present triggers. One thing I just want to point out, from here on you're looking for a moment in time. You always record 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
last night, a month ago,
Mhm.
and you want to ask the client if they're just giving you a general thing or things repeated. You want to, do you recall a specific moment in time you felt that yuck? And because that's what really lights up the system to to lead us to the overall disturbance and negative cognition that gets us out of the whatever answer and thinking brain. It's not logically thinking what's connected. It's we're really deeply connected in a disturbance and find the memories. And there you have the future desired states. Beautiful. With this, I want to just point out that you want to prompt the client, if you are using this as a closing resource for that session, the more specifics, the better. Can you picture yourself? What's your facial, what's your body language? What do you feel inside? How would your interaction be with others be? The more specific, it's basically you have a script written out. Oh, this is how exactly I would be in that situation if it happens again.
Okay.
And this information is also what you want to get out before you use the future template protocol if you are using it. We'll cover that for the next month's practice. We can do that. Okay.
Okay, that helps.
Questions, thoughts, anything?
Do you spend a lot of time like you just did, like on each one? Because I did that like way at the beginning. And I believe was just asking the questions and then putting down what she was saying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you'd stop and take the time like you just did with me and look at it deeper and deeper.
For the longing, I do.
Okay.
Really, you're not just here. You're trying to get really the longing, and then the longing will lead you to the present issue, and the present issue all put together. The system really start to activate and light up to the real root.
Okay.
And from there, really, you just ask, what about an earlier time? Or some people give you immediately, my mom died when I was 2. Okay, what about another time you felt similarly? Or now you know the function of these questions, what we are looking for, right? If the client just gave you a 2-year-old, okay, no more earlier, and okay, beautiful. If you get some other memory on the list, it's okay. If you don't, use the rest of time, go right into reprocessing that touchstone, right? And other memories they will remember, they will add to the list, just like what Mary did. So speaking of the treatment plan, it's not set in stone. New memories were added, and you did the right thing to collaborate with the client first, and that's the earliest, even earlier than touchstone you got earlier, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, would you like to bring up the video?
Yeah, what part are you looking to see? I was just trying to think of what I would like. Oh, whoops. Something that, here, let me share my screen. She had entered, can you guys see that?
We're gonna see the bilateral stimulation.
Yeah. I mean, being a newbie to this, she showed me that and was explaining how she does that.
Is
This
the
is,
first tab YouTube? The tab.
yeah, I was just showing you this though.
Oh,
Yeah.
you want to show the bilateral stimulation?
Yeah. No, she had showed me that.
Ah,
But we tried to use it, but she said it was giving her a headache. So
okay.
anyway,
I use that. I love it.
yeah, it was cool. Was there a specific part you want me to go to? Okay. Hey, Mary, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Well, I just want to start with talking about how you've been doing since the last time I saw you. So I just wanted to know if you had processed any more between then and now, and anything you've noticed in, I don't know, any behaviors or patterns in relating to this memory, any dreams?
Um, Nothing really specific. Um, I guess I noticed kind of a little bit of shutting down more than usual, but that kind of happens around the holidays sometimes and like in the winter months. Um, but now that I'm thinking about it, I think that I was really tired and kind of isolating a little bit after our last session. Um, no dreams that I can remember, but I'm very bad at remembering dreams. Um, I guess I do feel less activated by family members. and,
So you,
but
so you got through Christmas.
I did.
A little
Yeah,
better.
I
Good.
did. I did.
Now, do you remember what we worked on last time?
Yes.
Can
Okay.
you
And so
pause
what do you
here?
think of that memory? Is it
Can
still
you pause
disturbing to
here?
you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you did a good job checking in and notice some good experience and immediately go back to the target. Yeah.
Let me keep going.
Um, you mentioned the positive cognition. Do you want to go there?
Oh gosh. Trying to think. That was way toward the end, I think.
Oh, toward the end. Okay.
Yeah.
Not the phase three positive cognition.
No, and that's either the second or third time that it's
Okay.
changed
You were
toward the
going
end.
into phase five. I see.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you want to go to the end of phase four to watch a little bit of that, the getting to one or zero.
Okay.
Your transcript didn't have the timestamp, so I
I
don't
know.
know.
I don't know what the deal is, why I'm having such a hard time
Hmm.
getting those. But I mean, before, like at the beginning, I could just click the three dots, it would come up with the timestamp, and now it's like I have to do subtitles. It takes like all day. So anyway, I don't
I
know.
do notice that YouTube, when you first upload the video, it doesn't have
Mhm.
that, it takes time.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah.
and someone recently told me that you can use Zoom to generate. Zoom now has this powerful AI assistance or something, can
Oh,
generate the whole session's transcript for you
oh, okay.
with
Check that out.
timestamp. Yeah.
Okay.
It would still be helpful if you can separate the
How
client
disturbing does it
part,
feel to you now?
client part and therapist part for me to.
Is that what I'm supposed to ask? Oh my gosh. I must keep bumping this. Um, yeah, I think this is where I I goofed. And so I asked her the question, like, I did it wrong. So do you want me to just start playing here? And I think this is when we get to
Did you go back to the target?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go
So,
ahead, play a minute or two.
okay. And she was doing
Okay,
tapping.
stop.
Tapping.
And again, on a scale from 0 to 10, how disturbing does that feel to you now?
Let's say 1.
Okay. So let me go to just asking you a question now. So when you're stuck on 1, do I
This is when I'm asking her, like, what do I do?
okay, I guess I'm confused. So do I just keep going, like close it up, or what do we do?
You could say something like, do you ever feel like it would be less than a 1? What makes you feel that way? And again, this will be a client that you'll know, right?
Mhm.
So you'll know if their answer is like,
Right. So why? I would know.
Yeah, you'll know
Right.
if it's possibly their answer coming up, and then you could engage with that. Like, hey, you tend to, downplay your emotions when it's about other people, or, something like that. And kind of explore that. And then I think the hardest part is, for me, still, but it's like just taking them at their word,
Right. Yes.
but also still engaging in that, but still taking them at their word, but just, it's like double, triple, quadruple checking. Like, that's why you'd ask, like, where you feel it in your body. Because I've had people that'll say, like, they're at a 1 and they're bawling their eyes out. And you're like, okay, well, so let's go into that a little bit further, right? But it's at your discretion. Maybe they're just crying because they're hormonal, or you know what I mean, something else is happening. Maybe it's just like a complete release and it just feels really good. But yeah, it's just checking in and just making sure that they're being honest with themselves, and
Okay.
and maybe even understanding what that would look like, right? To like be saying that they're at a 1.
Okay.
And it's not a 1, right?
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I feel like I rambled.
Like you take off your one hat and put on the other. So what is it that you think is keeping you at a 1 here?
I think that there's a little part of me that feels weird about not having guilt as like a response to that.
Okay. So even if you're allowed to
Can you pause?
to have that strong memory because it happened and it was scary.
Okay.
Can I just say what I would do in that?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. I hear her say, I guess I'm just not sure, not feeling guilt for that could ever be 0. Go with that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
In times like this, is whatever they're reporting and saying out loud, and another part of them, the observer, is being able to hear them say it out loud, and that's the intervention. That's why the whole protocol is just go with that, but them being able to observe their experience, report, and then their system continue to process, reconcile. So that's the power of this work.
Yeah.
Even though she's not 100% sure or convinced, or just hearing a part of her is having this reservation, saying it out loud, like go with that. Allow trusting her system will continue to process and reconcile.
Okay. And that's where I mean, like I said, I struggle at the end. I feel I can get through all of the reprocessing, but then when I get to the end and I'm trying to close it out, I feel like I do more of a disservice. Like I feel like I undo everything, like because I'm just stumbling and saying the wrong things, and but I'm thinking what I should. I don't know. I just feel like a mess at the end. So thank God she's so patient with me. But then I feel bad. Like I'm not. I don't know. Like even after I turned off the recording, I checked in with her. I'm like, "Are you okay?" Like because I really just kind of screwed all that up at the end.
Can you stop sharing so we can see each other better?
Sure.
Yeah, yeah. What are you noticing right now? Bring this up.
Just just some frustration.
Frustrating with yourself.
Yeah, like I know once I get it, it'll click and it'll stay there. But I just haven't like I got to figure out how I'm going to do that the best for me, and then I know it'll be fine. But I just feel like I stumble a lot. And like I said, she knows what like she knows exactly what I'm supposed to do, and that is a little intimidating for me as well. So, but she's super helpful.
This frustration, wouldn't it be okay for us to explore, investigate a little bit?
Sure.
Can you see in any way this being frustrated with yourself could be helpful or has been helpful in the past?
Oh yeah, yeah. Because it typically will make me figure it out and find a solution, which is what I feel like I need to do.
Put more pressure on yourself and you get better.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't, I'm not a perfectionist by any means, and that's not me. Um, but no, just learning and figuring it out, and then I'll feel like I can offer more to my clients. So,
And I'm guessing I'm also hearing a layer that figuring this out on my own.
mhm. Yeah, is that the rock? Is that-
Yeah, the hero, the rock, both kind of have
Yeah.
part of that, right? It makes sense. You shared a few times that there wasn't support. Yeah. What I wonder now in this here now in this day and age, is there some updated information you could share with that part of you?
What do you mean? Like,
That part of you frustrated with yourself and needing to figure it out on your own and um, and being used to figuring it out on your own.
uh-huh.
Does it still serve you?
Yeah, yeah, it does. I mean, it has to because I'm independent. At the school where I'm working, I'm on my own. I'm my own little island there. And then with my private practice, it's just me. So,
So in many ways, the present and the
yeah,
past is it's the same
yeah, kind of like it that way though. To an extent.
to extent. And I wonder if in this setting, in this process, there could be another alternative.
Mhm.
Well, actually, I actually see you already. You did the difficult thing. You were vulnerable and asked Mary, and you got that support from her right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What I see is that you actually stayed connected with her instead of feeling you had to figure it out on your own. You stayed connected, even though that means you were not the expert, you were
Mhm.
vulnerable. It was uncomfortable for you, but you did the what's usually difficult.
Mhm. I think it, yeah, it was probably uncomfortable for me because I felt like I was taking away from her. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like this was, I was supposed to be helping her, but then it turned and
The hero.
she was helping me. Yes.
But yeah, just that's a beautiful new experience that in that setting, it actually helped both of you, I think.
Mhm. Yeah, true, true. Mhm.
You didn't have to figure it out on your own.
Yeah, and I think it does, I didn't think about that just her offering some of her knowledge is validating for her. So I will shoot her an email and tell her thank you. Um, because yeah, she's even we didn't get to the part about the positive cognition, but she has such a hard time
Mm.
telling herself anything positive. Like I had to make suggestions like, well, what about this? And she, what about this? And she was like, oh yeah, yeah. But she couldn't get there herself. Um,
Yeah.
so
Because you were vulnerable and open to her and probably supported her to just be more open with you.
mhm,
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Beautiful. That connection in that moment is what you
mhm,
didn't have or maybe don't even have in your much in your present life
mhm.
that you can
Yeah.
figure out together.
Mhm. And I have a feeling she works very independently as well.
Mhm.
Um, so
Yeah. But that connection, that moment to figure it out together,
mhm.
does that did that feel good in a way?
Yes, yes and no. I think at the time I was frustrated, but now like sitting down and thinking about it, yeah, it does feel okay. So
Yeah. That's our deepest human longing. We want to be connected.
mhm, yeah. And I do get that feeling um when she and I are done,
Yeah.
with our thing. I do. We usually turn off the recording and just kind of shoot the breeze for a little while.
Sure.
And yeah.
Yeah. That I bet must really supported her to feel safer in this process now that her system can uncover long blocked out
Mhm,
memory.
mhm,
Right? She was completely, she knows the model. She probably been through finding the root
mhm,
rounds, but this did not come up until now. There,
mhm,
there is deeper sense of safety in this work, in this relationship.
mhm.
Yeah. What are you noticing now?
I guess I'm just thinking that it wasn't so bad after all. So I guess there's a little, you know, well, no. I mean, it was helpful all around. So I I still have a lot that I need to to practice and get comfortable with. But no, but it really wasn't that bad. I'll quit beating myself up. So
Okay. Yeah, good. A couple of things I wanted to just quickly point out. One is rule of thumb during phase 4, we don't say stop, we say pause, because a stop
okay.
can be so triggering for so many people.
Okay. When she was tapping,
Yeah, tapping or yeah.
yes, I didn't know what. I'm glad you said that because I didn't know what to say because she
Right.
just started tapping and I'm like, well, how do I get her to stop?
Mhm.
So okay.
Yeah, these
I
are
didn't know.
the nuances. The more you practice, and
Mhm.
you will instinctively notice something. Do I know? Or right? Which is
Yeah,
better. You can check in with the client. You can post something in the forum, like after hour, or together
right.
to clarify. Or this is really you have to walk so many cases or practice so many times than these nuances.
Yeah, I almost wanted like a bell or a tone, just something,
Yeah.
some kind of a noise instead of stop. And I was trying to say it gently, but yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to ask that.
In one of the trainings, a pair they worked out that I'm just gonna knock on the table.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Another thing is that rule of thumb, after one set, we always ask, "What are you noticing now? What do
Mhm.
you notice now?" Because the feedback we get is what, based on that, we decide where we go next. Go with that, or go back to target, or offer a resource, or offer interwave,
Mhm.
right? So towards the end, the more you get in your own head, I don't know what to do, what to do, you are further not being present with the client. It's
Right.
getting a feedback, getting a response, know or be on the same page with the client is what keeps us fully present in the process,
Yeah.
right?
And I did notice too, because she would close her eyes when she was tapping, and I was counting, so I wouldn't let it go on forever. I was trying to um, estimate that, but I would catch myself like looking at the sheet and not being present and kind of reading, like, what am I doing? So I did catch myself doing that. So, like, a lot.
Yeah.
So, something to be
It
aware
is harder for us to connect, or stay connected when the client's eyes are closed and it's virtual, right?
of. Mhm.
So this um, polyvagal theory, these co-regulation, we also need these cues to. It's bi-directional.
Okay.
Notice that, and what I do is really pay attention to the client's facial expression, their breathing, and if they can tap if that's they okay with them, I get to see how fast they're tapping.
Mhm.
Are they breathing shallow?
Mhm.
And then I get to notice even their face or their eyes start to have a subtle color change before the tears roll out. That's really cool. Just because I'm technically not doing anything, but I'm with them. They are on the journey.
Mhm. Okay. Thank you. No, that's all really helpful. I appreciate it.
So that and the stop. What else? And the positive cognition, you did a great job not getting into the too much conversation. That's still in the middle of the reprocessing. The more you talk, the more you're out of the present moment.
Mhm.
So just offer, you listen and you offer and see if it fits, keeps the client in the feeling state, right?
Okay.
Does this feel fit? And you get into the intellectually it's further away from present. Yeah.
Thank
Wow, 2 minutes. So I'm thinking you could do another reprocessing memory if you would like to practice phases 3 to 7 again,
Okay.
or you can practice the future template protocol. Identify either one of these recent triggers that is likely to happen again in the near future, or something is actually maybe coming up. Then you spend a few minutes talk about the movie, kind of describe what the desired state would be before going into running the movie.
Okay.
And there's another script for future template protocol in the manual. It has a little more step-by-step instructions. You may, if you feel the one on your worksheet doesn't give it enough guidance or clear, feel free to use the other one in the menu.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions?
No, thank you guys for moving it to this week as well. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, then you have only 3 weeks until our next meeting. Okay.
And so we have 2 more left?
Yeah.
Okay.
9th and 10th. All right. See you next month.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate your help.
You guys are doing great.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Alyssa.